Alright, the title of this video might be the boldest claim that I have ever made in this entire channel's history. But believe me, I do have my reasons as to why I think this. It all stems from a few factors, so let's break down why I think NXT is the best show for women's wrestling in America. First, I'll state why I specifically specified in America. Joshi wrestling absolutely slaps. There's no other thing to it. I have nothing else up my sleeve. I just think that Joshi Wrestling is the best women's wrestling in the world. And I honestly doubt that many people would disagree with me. So, moving on, let's go ahead and start with my first point being the storylines. As of the making of this video, there are currently 6 women's storylines going on right now in NXT. And each and every storyline is given equal treatment and equal care. There's never one storyline that feels favorited over the others. Each and every single one truly feels like it's on the same playing level. These are also far more than the main roster, which from what I've seen is like 1 or 2 for Raw and then the same for SmackDown. There are actually so many women's feuds going on right now that in the future they are planning on adding in Women's NXT North American Championship, the first ever women's mid-card title in WWE history. These women are so talented, they're literally making history. My second point for why I think NXT is the best show for women's wrestling in America is the in-ring talent. All of these women are so talented in so many different ways that it's honestly insane. And the fact that a lot of them are incredibly young too is even more insane. Because this is a developmental brand, none of these women, or not a lot of them anyway, are in the primes of their careers. Meaning that what we are seeing on the screen every week right now isn't even their peak. These women have only just begun and then they're gonna get Julia. Alright, that may have been a little bit too much. And my third point for why NXT is the best show in America for women's wrestling are the individual wrestlers themselves. If you don't know what I mean, this is basically the section of the video where I start praising the individual wrestlers. I'm gonna start with Blair Davenport. She has a lot of charisma. Every one of her promos, she constantly sells the angle that she's in, and she makes all of her matches feel like a big deal just by speaking about them. And then when she gets into the ring, she is so talented. You can put her with basically anyone and she will do just fine. Sol Ruka is so cool. I love her gimmick, but I especially love her finishing move, the Soul Snatcher. That has got to be one of the most unique cutters I've seen in wrestling. And now she's starting to do it in the middle rope section, not even off the turnbuckle. Oh, she has nowhere to go but up. Tatum Paxley, wow, what a journey Tatum Paxley has been on. She went from being this pretty normal character, all things considered, to this freaky psycho lady that just has all the charisma that you could ever want. She is so committed to her character, and every single time she is on the screen, she gives it 100%. And it's not all just character work. Look at these moves. Look at the psycho trap. That finisher is amazing. Just the other day on Spring Break-In, she did a 450 splash. She has grinded her ass off in NXT, and mark my words, one day she will be champion. It will be her. And of course, I can't mention NXT without mentioning Roxanne Perez. And with Roxanne basically being the ultimate babyface, it's very surprising that she's able to play the heel character that she has. I genuinely didn't think that would work at first, but after giving it a few weeks, it seems as though it's working just as well as it would if she was babyface. While I do admit I think she should be babyface eventually, which will come, the heel character she's playing right now is pretty good. And of course, I don't have to mention that she's a great wrestler. You probably already know that. And finally, we move on to my favorite women's wrestler in NXT, which is...
Welcome to the generation of Jade.
So what can I say about Cora Jade? In ring, is she the greatest ever? Nah, not really. But she is still good. However, where Cora Jade resides with me is her character work. They do not call her the resident mean girl of NXT for nothing. She is an actual dick. She is constantly instigating anything and everything, and I am here for it. But unfortunately, we won't be seeing Cora for a long time due to the fact that way back in January, she tore her ACL at an NXT house show. Truly unfortunate, and I hope she gets well soon. But just remember, when she comes back, it's her generation. Overall, at the end of the day, this is all my opinion. If you made it to the end of this video and you realized that and you disagreed, but you didn't write a hateful comment, I applaud you, honestly. But yeah, because of the storylines going on, the overall in-ring action, and the individual wrestlers themselves, I believe that NXT is the best show for women's wrestling in America. That's gonna do it for today's video. I will catch you in the next one next week. Peace.